What makes people stupid, and right now we have a lot of stupid people in this world, power is pure psychology. Pure psychology, intimidating people and winning before you even enter into a battle. In this world, if you're replaceable, you will be replaced.
A tweet you had, which I loved, the stupidest people are always the ones who think they have the right answers.
One thing that always excited me was this concept of the ancient Greeks, that more harm is caused in this world by stupid, incompetent people than by evil people. What makes people stupid, and right now we have a lot of stupid people in this world. There always have been stupid people, but because there are more people on the planet, exponentially, there are more stupid people on the planet. What makes people stupid, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell it like it is their certainty that they have all the answers. This is what's going on with our government. This is what's wrong, with this or that. This is what people should be like, blah, 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 blah. So you're narrowing your focus to this little tiny little rail, something that you heard from somebody else. It's not even your own stupid idea. So you've absorbed it on the internet, whatever, and you're going down on this kind of monorail path. Meanwhile, the world is all around you and you're just going like zoom like that because you're so certain you have the answer. When you have leaders who are so certain, they enter a country into a war they haven't been thought out of. So people who are certain of things are very stupid. And when they have power, they're very, very dangerous. I'm not saying evil people aren't dangerous, but incompetent, stupid people who are so certain, who haven't thought things through, are just as dangerous as evil people.
I think there's far more stupid people than there are evil people as well.
Probably, yeah.
Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Never let others define it for you.
When I wrote the 48 Laws of Power, I've somebody through my whole life loves playing games. I don't mean that in the abstract sense. I mean literally, like chess, backgammon, sports, poker, whatever. I like the cleanness of a game. It's like you do this and you can win, etc. But there's also a psychological element in it, particularly when you're playing poker and you're bluffing. It's a game of chance. You don't really know what cards you're going to get. But that fellow over there, he's been bluffing. He bluffed before, I'm sure he did. He's going to do it again. So the psychology starts entering into the picture in a game of chance. You don't realize that so much of the game of power has nothing to do with data and you being a better person at something. A lot of it is pure psychology and intimidating people and winning before you even enter into a battle. Power is pure psychology. Pure psychology. And what I mean by that is the CEO of a company, it's not like baseball where you have a good batting average or OPS, you're going to get in the lineup, they're going to bat you in the cleanup spot. Life isn't like that. So the way somebody rises to the CEO, and I know because I was on the board of directors of a publicly traded company, is not about metrics. It's not about things that they've actually done. It's about psychology. People rise to positions of power because they know how to play the game, and they know how to play the game of psychology. They know how to appear. They know how to play the optics. They know how to intimidate. They know how to say less than necessary. They know all the psychological little gambits. This is the game of life, the game of power. The rules are a little bit nebulous, but here's how you play. You play by mastering these little psychological bits. One of them is your reputation.
I'm fascinated by reputation and credibility. Every single nightclub that you've ever been to is the same thing. It's people getting drunk in a room to music. It'll never be anything else. And what I realized from doing that was the power of reputation. Now, this isn't the reputation of a person, it's the reputation of a brand. But if your company is known for always putting on good parties, then you get to benefit from that.
What happens is, when you have a reputation for putting on good parties,
people come.
More people come.
Which
so you
makes
have
your
better
parties
parties.
Good. Yep, correct. And this is the really important point. Never let others define it for you. When you are vulnerable, you will be attacked on all sides. Because as it's going up, it precedes you. It continues to do work for you, exponentially growing and growing. But when you're starting to go down, even your best work will sometimes be derogated to be worse than it is. So you have done something that is good, but because of your reputation, you're a liar, you're a phony, you're a grifter, you're a shill, you're a fake.
That's right.
Credibility is the one thing that you should never sell because you cannot buy it back. There is no return policy on your credibility.
And people are so, getting back to the word stupid, I mean, they post things on social media when they're young, not realizing that 5 years later when they're trying to get a job at a law firm, they're doing incredibly ridiculous things on Instagram, and that part of their reputation. Everything you do is reflected through the social world. Nothing is in isolation. People are continually judging you. Where you have to think before you post. How are people going to take this? If I say this stupid, rude thing that comes right out of me because I don't control my tongue, one false step will ruin your reputation.
There's a British MP on the receiving end of a tweet from 2009, which has come back around. Like, get these Estonian retards out of my house right now. She's had to do this groveling apology.
People judge on appearances. They don't judge on the reality of who you are. They don't know who I am or who you are. They judge on what they see and how we appear. They want to have something consistent that they can grab onto. They want to say something simple. That guy is funny and that's who he is. This guy is that. And if you can't be consistent, if you're all over the place, if you're changing your ideas, you're conservative, then you're liberal, blah, blah, and you're trying to tack with each wind to get power, yeah, you'll get some power that way, but it'll make you look weaselly. It'll make you look distrustful, and people won't like that, and your reputation will be one of somebody who has no soul, who has no core. So reputation also has to have a consistency, a core to it, a soul that binds it all together. On the other hand, if you're a very Machiavellian person, poke holes in your enemy's reputation and you will destroy them. Bring up things that are inconsistent with the reputation and you will have ruined. Be like popping a balloon. It'll just go whoop, like that. In this world, if you're replaceable, you will be replaced. So if in your job, you're in your 20s and you're doing something that other people could do, by the time you become 28, they can hire somebody 24 when they hired you, but for less money. They will do that right away. It's a brutal world. So the only defense against that is to be irreplaceable in this world. And the good news is that you are, at your core, irreplaceable. There is something strange and weird about you. So what the game of life involves is knowing your uniqueness, is knowing who you are, is knowing what makes you weird and what makes you odd. And the problem is that we're social animals, and the pressure continually on us is to fit into a group, is to be like other people, to have their ideas, to have their values, to have their tastes, to dress like them. That happens when you're young, you're in your adolescence. We all go through that phase. I went through that phase. But if you keep on that track when you're in your 20s and on, which is happening a lot today through social media, you're going to lose that sense of what makes you odd and different. And so you don't know who you are anymore. They're so afraid of being odd. But look at all the powerful people in this world. Look at your Elon Musks. Look at your celebrities in entertainment, in business, in politics. They're one of a kind. They stand out for something that's truly different. Even Albert Einstein, there's nobody else like Einstein. There's nobody like Da Vinci. That's where your power lies. And you'll go, oh, but Robert, those are people that were brilliant, that were talented. I'm not like that. I don't have that. Well, bullshit. You do have that. It's just you're forgetting about it and you don't want to put the effort into it. I talked in Mastery of a woman named Temple Grandin who was born with severe autism. And she was able to find her way to become a very brilliant professor, academic writer about animals, animal behavior, and about autism itself. She found her way to it. When she was 3 or 4, she couldn't even speak any language. She was going to be hospitalized. You have that potential. It's just you're not putting the effort into it. You were lazy. You want to fit into the group. You want to conform because it's easy. But your oddness, what makes you weird, what makes you different, that little strange quirk in how you want to dress yourself, that little strange quirk in your musical tastes, that little quirk in the food that you like to eat, that is who you are. Those are signs from deep within, from your core, from your soul. And if you lose that, not only are you not going to be successful in life, you will also lose yourself and you'll be unhappy, you'll be unfulfilled, you'll be alienated from who you are. And you can get away with that when you're young, because you're happy, you look good, you've got energy, things are going right. You get into your 30s and you're like everybody else, and you don't know who you are and you don't know what you like anymore, and you're just following the trends. You start to get depressed and you start going down this rabbit hole and things can turn really ugly. So you need a bit of courage in life. You need to go, okay, I am weird. I am strange. Lean into it. So sometimes you need a little bit of cojones, you need a little bit of courage, you need to stand up and say, I'm okay being different.
Hey, hope you enjoyed this video. So today's key takeaway is that overconfidence is way more dangerous than outright malice. When people are dead sure they've got all the answers without questioning, they end up causing chaos, from pointless Twitter wars to real-life conflicts. But here's the twist. Real power isn't about fancy degrees or perfect metrics. It's a mind game. It's bluffing, optics, intimidation, winning before you even start. And at the heart of it, your reputation. Once it's gone, there's no return. So what's the secret sauce to staying on top? Embrace your quirks. Lean into what makes you weird. That's your edge. Stay curious, stay flexible, and have the guts to stand out. Let's play smarter.